Welcome back to the Night Side with Barb DiGiulio. News Talk 1010.
Welcome back to the show. I know a lot of parents are very, very concerned when it comes to the online learning, the e-learning. Some people don't want to call it that. Whatever you want to call it. School is out right now. Everyone is hoping that school can get back in by the end of the year. Even if that were to happen, though, there's so much time that has been lost. Parents are worried about their kids' marks. What do you do in a situation like that? How do you help supplement what your child may be learning from home so that they don't start next year at a disadvantage? Education expert and founder of Tutoring, Sunny Verma, has been on the show before and joins us again now. Hi, Sunny. Thanks a lot for doing this.
No problem. Thanks for having me, Barb. Happy to be here.
I'm going to tell you, people are, so I know my audience. Some people are sitting there going, why do I have to pay more money out of pocket? They should be teaching my kids what they're supposed to be teaching my kids.
You know what? That's probably a pretty valid argument.
Yep.
Honesty, I think parents have to understand that with COVID-19, learning outcomes have not changed, right? And what this really means for their child is that they're required to know the exact same knowledge as if this pandemic never, ever happened. And that means next year, we don't really know how teachers are going to react to structuring the curriculum and the gaps within it. And the second thing is that, learning loss is a real phenomenon. So whether your teacher can teach or not, this is something you have to get your head around, because the longer the break a student takes, typically the wider the academic the skill gap becomes. So parents, irrespective of what is happening out there, we have to take charge in our own child's future in education right now.
So, it's one of those things where, aside from the pandemic, a lot of people, the reality is tutoring is a part of their child's education. We've had that experience ourselves, especially when it comes to certain subjects.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think this is possibly one of the best times, more than ever, to probably think about getting some academic and emotional support for your child. Because the truth is, the parents' frustration is built around two major concerns right now. One is not having enough time to help their child, and number two, not having the right skill set to help their child. Imagine you struggled with fractions. Well, then good luck teaching it to your kid, right? So a tutor can really come in, help quarterback and coordinate your child's learning outcomes. They can help build organization, planning, and all these executive functioning skills, as well as help them complete and submit their homework. And I think most importantly, they can act as a mentor in your child's life. They can help keep them motivated and encouraged during this, pretty challenging time.
For instance, like Tutor Bright, your company, online tutoring, was that already part of your model?
Yeah, it was. We've been online tutoring since 2015, so for about half a decade now. So when this happened, we also do in-home tutoring as well, but everybody had to switch to online tutoring, obviously, to keep their safe distances. Now, one of the interesting things that I want to encourage parents around is that, online education, although it has some, negative thoughts around it, there's actually a significant amount of benefit, right? First and foremost, you can typically choose the best educator from your child from across the entire country, not the one that lives down the street from you. The second thing is that you can do some really fun things online, like give high fives and make secret handshakes that are somewhat awkward, but because they're done digitally, it can make it a lot more interactive and engaging with your child. And honestly, you don't ever have to worry about scheduling or timing. It could literally be any time of the waking hours of the day. So there's a lot of benefits with online education as well.
What can parents do, aside from what you've mentioned already, to help support their kids through this? Because it's a very strange time and something our kids have never gone through before. We've never gone through before.
Yeah, that's actually a great question. The first thing I think of is do daily check-ins with your child and see how they are feeling emotionally. So you need to create a safe environment for them to express their emotions. And I can't stress enough that this needs to be done daily, not once a week, but every single day. And let your child know that it's okay to feel confused, because how your child feels emotionally will dictate how they do academically.
Let me ask you this, because we've been hearing things completely on both sides. What kind of feedback are you getting from your clients in terms of how their online learning is going?
I have yet to come across somebody who is satisfied with it, and we deal with thousands of families. Now, this isn't an insult to online learning. I just think what has happened is that everybody had to pivot so quickly without necessarily having the right skill sets in doing it. I think within time, we're all going to get a little bit more comfortable with it. It's teachers are learning at the same pace students are learning on how to do it. Some of the best in-class educators don't make the best online educators because they just never had the technological know-how or knowledge to do so. And so we have to remember that there's a lot of different variables that are at play with this.
You know, it's like for a lot of industries, I think moving forward, this has shown people and companies that it's really important to know how to do this. I mean, I was even thinking the other day, snow days, right? I know no kid wants to hear that, but just as an example, if there are times where students cannot be in the school, they can still be learning and teachers can practice their skills, and it should be part of the repertoire, I think, moving forward.
I think so. I think one of the best things that we're going to get out of this pandemic is that online education is a real thing, and it really breaks down a lot of barriers for a lot of people, right? I think there is a lot of major benefits that can happen. So snow days will still allow a child to actually educate themselves from home. And one of the major benefits of doing a mixed model of online and in-class learning is that you have child who are going to build what we call metacognition skills. That means they're going to be self-regulated. That means they're going to have to understand deadlines and due dates and when they have to click submit, because this is a challenge right now for so many kids to actually wake up every day and set their agenda and actually schedule time to actually do their homework and prioritize their entire days around their academics. So this, I think, will actually force and build that skill. And it's typically not something we really learn until we're in university. Imagine building that in your elementary years. That skill set can take you way, way beyond your school years.
Well, and as you say, by the time you get to post-secondary, where you're going to encounter online learning, at least you'll have a bit of a hang of it and not have to start from scratch at that point.
That's exactly it. I think like starting it now is the best time to start it, right? The pandemic has forced us to pivot a lot of things in our lives, but online learning has been one of the major implications for families. I always want to let them to rest assured that this is just the beginning. It only is going to get easier. It is truly only going to get easier with your child's academics.
All right. Where can we find you, Sunny?
TutorBright.com.
All right. Sunny Verma, education expert, founder of Tutor Bright. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Great to talk to Sunny Verma again.